vlog, but this vlog is just a little bit different. I was thinking to myself, how can I maximize each vlog so that people get the most out of them? And then it hit me, feature other people. And that's exactly what I did. So the first person is Miss Sally Zachary. She is one of my best friends. We basically grew up together. She is a recent grad of the University of Alabama in Birmingham. Y'all, when I tell you she has been through a lot, she has, and I've had a front row seat. Just to see where she was, where she is now, and where she is going is just so inspiring. I'm like, people need to hear your story. So without further ado, Miss Sally Zachary, I hope you all enjoy.
Hi, everybody. It's not the same face that you used to seeing, but this week I was asked by Hope, the starter of Just Little Hope, to speak on something that has, you know, maybe touched me or something that I can share that may touch you and help you through something that you may be going through. So, there's two things I really want to talk about. The first thing is just life, period. Everybody goes through life, whether it's relationships, bereavement, financial difficulties. Everybody goes through life. So, the portion of life that I would talk about would be where I am right now in life. My father recently passed this year, and it really, took a toll on me. And I'm a preacher's kid, so I was raised in a church. I have all these scriptures to use, to get me through. But it's like when it actually happens, none of it matters. I felt so disconnected, like there was no source. And it was hard. Like, I was shocked. I questioned God. I was just like, how could you take someone that meant so much to me? Like, what am I supposed to do without him? So, time goes by. People say time heals wounds. I'm just like, I don't know what wounds you've had healed by time, but this is not working. So, a lot of people know the situation, what happened upon my father's death, and it placed a major financial burden on me. And I am the youngest child of him and my mother's kids, so I was in college. I was already getting by, you know, on my own, with their support here and there. But now it's just even more of a burden trying to finance and, help my mom financially. It's just, it's difficult. It's not easy. So, I stopped going to church. I just didn't care for God anymore. And I felt that when I came up with that in my mind, that opened another door that I didn't want to open. Looking back now, wish hadn't have opened. But I, stopped going to church. I started doing a lot of extracurricular activities that, were not approved of. Um, so, um, like I said, I felt disconnected. Like, I stopped praying. I stopped going to church. I listen to gospel music here and there, but, it just, I didn't care. I was waking up in the morning, going through the same routine every day, nothing changing, not feeling any better. I was just bitter, very upset and hurt on the inside and angry. Like, it was awful. So it had gotten to a point to where I feel like God was trying to break me down to the ground. Like, it was just like everything was just happening. I was in school full time. I was working full time. I literally had no time to do anything. And even though I'm still working to pay bills, it was like more bills were adding on because I'm helping my mom out. It was just so much going on. So it was like God broke me down to where I couldn't do anything but ask for Him, talk to Him. You know, I had no choice. It was like everything was going bad. My car was going to be repossessed. I got an eviction notice. Like, and before all of this happened, I had no problems trying to take care of my bills. Like, I had spending money all the time. You know, I got to have fun. But after that, it was like I'm playing catch up on everything. I was just like, God, why is nothing working? Like, I don't know what to do. So I just started like, what am I doing wrong? Like, what did I do to deserve this? Like, I I've always been, you know, a good kid, but you know, I never thought that I did anything wrong to deserve what I was getting. So this is gonna lead into the second topic also. So I started comparing myself to my friends, other family members, and stuff like that. How their parents were able to support them and, you know, get them their first car or help them with their first car, and how I didn't have stuff like that. Yeah, I was a preacher's kid. Both my parents were married, you know, to each other. But it was just like I wanted that financial stability from my parents to help me whenever I needed help. And, you know, my parents supported me with everything I did, but I just couldn't, you know, go to them for money. And I was okay with that. I mean, they did what they could to bring me up. Now I'm an adult, so I have to, you know, secure my own bag. So I was comparing myself to other people, even in other situations than money. I was comparing my weight, my natural beauty, money, all of that. And it was like God broke me down. He was like, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't be in school if it wasn't for me. You wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for me. And it was like, then I became more thankful because I didn't have to have a car. I didn't have to have a roof over my head. I didn't have to have money to pay the things that I was able to pay. Keep food in my mouth, you know, stuff like that. So I became more appreciative because there's people who don't have those things. But it took him breaking me down to where I didn't have any money. I didn't have, like, my car was about to be repoed. And I'm in Birmingham, like, my family's back home an hour and a half away. Like, I'm in school. I don't have a place to go. I was like, I don't know what to do. So all I kept thinking about was surrender yourself. All of yourself. All of you. And I'm just like, what am I not surrendering? Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, am I not good enough? So it took, you know, a while for me to understand what God wanted for me. He doesn't want half of you. He doesn't want 1/4. He doesn't want you one day, and, you know, he wants you completely. Your mind, your body, your time. He wants it all. So once I started realizing, you know, hey, I got to surrender myself, submit myself to him so that he can take over of everything completely. And once I realized that, things started to slowly fall into place. And it's something about God's timing. Like, he knows everything. He knows what you need. He knows everything. And it's something about his time, and it was just like, I was so stressed about school. It was just crazy. But it was like things left and right, doors opening. I got a new job. My old job, they didn't want me to leave, so I still worked there too. Talked to the place about my car, they set it up to where I did fall behind on that. They pushed that to the end of the deal. It was just so much stuff left and right that, you know, was just working out. You know, it's just the things that can happen when you align yourself up with God's word and do what He tells you to do. And it's not, you know, it's not gonna happen overnight, of course, but you take it one day at a time, and each day you strive harder to be better than you were the day before. And try not to, yes, God hears you, but when you seek God and, you know, talk to God constantly, you have a connection with Him. When you don't pray, when you don't talk to God, when you don't worship, when you don't, it's like you're asking a stranger, you walking up to a stranger and asking them, hey, can you pay my light bill, or can you bless me with some money to get something to eat? Can I borrow your jacket? Your shirt's cute. Can I, you know, that's like walking up to a stranger and asking them for something. Like, you don't want to have that type of relationship with God to where it's like He's speaking to a stranger. You want to communicate with Him daily, more than once a day. I mean, you just need to have a connection and a relationship with God. And I know that was kind of, you know, a little everywhere, but those are things that I feel like most people are struggling with, especially me, because during hard times, you know, it's known for you to crack under pressure. But pressure makes diamonds, and being able to stand strong in those hard times and persevering and staying with it and sticking it out, God sees that, and He'll reward you. He will. So that's all the time I have for you. I hope that I've been able to say something to somebody that can encourage them to keep fighting. Again, it's not easy. It wouldn't be a fight if it was easy. So just keep fighting, keep pushing, and everything will work out. Peace.